Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on the area you may be. So thank you so much for joining us here. It's Let's Shine 224, and as you already know, we used to bring great people around the world in order to add value to you. So today we'll be talking about leadership, and we are with Coach Ivet C. Ovens. Is it the right way?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So thank you so much, Coach, for responding positively our request. We know we are living in different time zone, and it may be a lot of occupation to your side, but above all, you put them aside and come to us. So thank you. We are grateful. Thank you so much. And first of all, the audience just want to know a bit about you, and then we're gonna start talking about the topic. You have
Okay.
the floor.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure for being here and all that we went through to get here. It's just awesome to be able to speak to leaders around the world. My heart is to sow into, to feed, to uplift, and support leaders, at least 1 million leaders across the globe. And why? Because leadership matters. And when I say that, I mean that where the head goes, everything else follows. And so it's important that as leaders, we are uplifted and built up because many of us are pouring out to other people and not necessarily getting poured back into, not necessarily getting reinforced and taking the time to make sure we have balance, especially regardless of what level of leadership you're in. We all need to find a circle of people or a safe place where we can be built up. Now, I know people who might be on your team, might or your who are following you might feel like you get it all. People are always serving you. You why should we do that? Well, healthy leaders are nurturing the people around them. Healthy leaders are giving the people around them opportunity to grow, to use their gifts, to even explore
Yes.
opportunities. Healthy leaders see
So
into other people what they don't see and demand it to come forth. And so that's why I want to make sure that we don't have leaders that are coming out of a selfish place or out of a fearful place for the people that they report to, because when they do that, they cannot serve well. And everything I advocate is about serving and transforming lives well.
wow, amazing. So thank you so much. Today our topic is leadership. So for someone that doesn't even have idea about leadership, who is a leader? What is a concept of leadership?
Yeah, so the concept of leadership is that, first of all, you have to understand who you are as a person, as an individual. So let's start at the basics. We all have
Wow,
come to the earth for a reason. We come to the
wow,
earth for a purpose. Every person, there's no person exempt from that. And I often ask people in audiences when I'm talking to them, why have you come? And they think I'm talking about why have you come into this media space. No, I'm asking, why have you come to the earth? Why are you breathing? Why is the blood running through your veins? Why are you in this space called 2024? Why?
wow.
Right? And so when you understand that I'm on an assignment, I've come for a reason, then that's where we're supposed to lead. And often we get thrown off because we think, well, so and so is already doing that, or they're already doing that over there. But you've been assigned to do it for a specific group of people in a specific way. My prayer is always, let me be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing in the right way with the right people for the right reasons. And if we all individually do that, then we are automatically stepping to a leader place of leadership, right? That
Yeah,
means I have a genuine, unique gift or talent or skill that I'm bringing to the table. And we might be able to have the same skill, but because it's me doing it, it becomes unique. Because
Yes.
if you do it, it's a unique skill to you.
Wow.
Because all of your complete being is now infused into that skill that you're sharing, right? So what is leadership? It's doing the best of who you are at the time when it's needed.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. What a great definition. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, and again, in order to develop your leadership, what do we need really?
Yeah, so you need to start to go on a journey of discovering who you are, right? And watch when you discover who you are, find those people and why you come. Find those who are doing what you are supposed to be doing, similar to that. Study them. Study you and why you're doing it. Now, there's a thread that goes through our lives, a single thread. We may have had ups and downs. For instance, I'm an author, I'm a mom, I'm a grandmom, I'm a worship leader in my church. I'm a daughter to my mom. I'm a sister to my sisters. I'm an auntie. I help people in the community. So all of those, but there's a thread of how I show up. We have to discover and uncover what that single thread is that seems to be woven through my life, and nurture that and niche down on it and continue to perfect it so that
Mhm.
we show up and become and can lead in a greater way. So this is not just for somebody who says, I didn't know I was a leader. I don't know what to do. No, even great leaders need to continue to find and nurture their leadership brilliance.
Wow. Okay, and again, about leading a group of people, we all know that it is not easy for dealing with different kind of people. What do we have to do in order to be understood by each and everyone? So let's say about those people that are not easy to handle, what do we really need in order to impact other people to follow us? Because we know that not easy at all to deal with different kind of people. What do we need during that journey?
Yeah, so now we're talking about emotional intelligence and authentic communication.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do I mean by emotional intelligence? It gets back to, are you self aware and are you able to self manage yourself, manage you and how you show up? Are you socially aware and how are you socially responsible? And it's really, in addition to that, it's
Mm-hmm.
what is our specific assignment? Why have we come together? What are we working on together? What are we collaborating together? And I like to encourage groups and teams to define what are our core values? What are our working agreements? Making sure that we all understand what it is that what we're charged to do. We have to have a clear vision on what we're accomplishing and then focus on that. Now, when you focus on that, there's some leaders that just focus on just get it done, just get it done, just get it done, and ignore all the things that people go through in their lives and how it shows up in their work or how they complete it in their shows up in how they minister to people. We cannot do that. That's where the emotional intelligence comes. So as a leader, we have to, one, make sure we're focused on the task at hand, and we help everybody focus on we help everybody see their value in the task. I often say to people when I formulate new teams or when I've been assigned to new teams, I say, okay, here's what we're charged to do. Here's each of you have come to the table with a skill set. I'm expecting you to show up in that skill in order for us to be successful. And you can expect me to show up as a leader to help remove roadblocks, to help give you the information that you need so you can be successful. We can talk about the tools you need and things like that. So when you have somebody that's difficult as that leader, if you laid the foundation properly, why we are here, what each of us brings to the table and make sure everybody knows that we're all depending on each one of us to do our best in our role. Then when you have those moments of difficulty, you have to be able to be willing to have the difficult conversation, the uncomfortable conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
the best way to do that is to not come from a, you did this, you did that, you did this, but come from a real place of being able to seek understanding.
Wow.
Because I don't think most people choose to be difficult. There's usually something underneath, something going on that's causing them to react or show up in the way that they're doing. So when you seek to understand, you lay out the facts, you keep, if there's an objective you have to achieve, you make sure that this is why we're here, but I still want to understand what's driving this behavior and where can I help. So seek to understand and seek to genuinely help that individual get through it. Now, this is what and I've mentioned this in one of my books, No Bosses Allowed, Lead to Serve and Transform.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Empathy is not profanity. And I think some leaders think that if I'm empathetic towards someone, then it's a weakness on my part. It is not. It is showing humanity. It's showing that you care. And when you're in those uncomfortable situations, you're seeking to understand, you're seeking to find out where you can help. It's going to require you to be empathetic in that person's shoes so that you can help bring them out of that space and give them an opportunity to come out of that space.
Wow. Oh, amazing, amazing. Yeah. Okay, and again, as a leader of a group, sometimes we may expect about getting things in the right way, but unfortunately, things may change. As a leader, what do we need during that time of change of the time? Because we may say that as everything is already clear, we have to do something, but because of the change, it may be whether the change of event or the change of the feeling, during that time as a leader, you are a leader of a group of person, but things doesn't really or don't even happen as we expected before. What do we need during that time as a leader? Because you may be unmotivated because we didn't think things will be like this.
Yeah. So you're talking really my language because I teach leaders agile change leadership principles. And what does that mean? The more agility you have in how you operate as a leader, the
I'm
more
so sorry.
agility.
I'm so sorry. The network. Yes. As I was saying, I said that, as a leader, about the change of the things or the result that we was expecting, things may change during that time. As a leader, what do we really need? Because it can pushes us to not be motivated because we thought that everything gonna be all right and the result as not as we expect. So what
Yeah.
do we need during that time?
Yeah, so you need agility as a leader. You need to be able to be agile in what you're doing. And that means we all have a dominant way of leading, but then there's different styles. So if you can take on different leadership styles, that's a way. We also have to build in resiliency in our teams. And how do you do that? You see where you are, you engage the right people in the conversation around here's where we are, here's the problem we're trying to solve. Find out who is impacted by that problem that you're trying to solve. Work to a great solution. So sometimes when we have change, we figure out, oh, here's a solution, and we just jump to it. No, start with what is the problem that we're trying to solve and engage others who are going to be impacted to get their validation on that problem and then work towards a solution. Because as you try to figure out what the problem you're trying to solve for. And it might seem obvious because something did go wrong, right? Something you have to, you're saying we need to change because something happened. But it might not be what you see on the surface. So you have to take the time to be able to say, okay, what is it that we really need to solve for? Get those right people around you. And it may not be all the leadership. It has to be people who are actually doing or impacted or receiving those services, hear from those voices to figure out what that solution should be. And then be willing as a leader, because it's like, hey, we're on this journey. We're pioneering to a wonderful solution. And when we're pioneering, that means we're all learning along the way, share lessons learned, make sure that everybody has an opportunity to say how those lessons are being taught, brainstorm a lot. Brainstorm means we just throw ideas out and then we just figure out and see it all start to formulate. All of those different things can help you with the change, but you have to be willing to do this one thing. And that one thing is be willing to fail fast. So if you have an idea and something's happening and you have to shift, go for what you know. But if it fails, that's a good thing, not something to be beating people up on or being disappointed or discouraged. Because if it's not going to work, you want to know about that faster than if you just keep pushing and trying to make something work that's not going to work in the long run. So if you have that healthy attitude that we're going to do it, I'm going to rally the right people around me, we're going to try this, collaboration is key. I love, love, love collaboration, because we get the greater of the summation of our thoughts, and we get the greater output when we have collaboration. And then go for it. Where you need to adjust, you always should inspect. Do and expect. Plan, do, inspect, and then adjust, right? So those are the things that I encourage teams. And this part didn't work. Okay, what can we do better? Right? Always have those retrospective moments where everybody comes together and says, okay, we made it this far. What went well? What didn't go well? And if you allow and introduce those languages into your conversations, then people will know, hey, it's okay if we have to adjust because it didn't go good. Because we're all invested enough to figure out what the right reason is. We're all invested enough to keep pushing till we get to success.
Wow. And again, sometimes, we may be expecting that all the people that we are leading, okay. Connection. Okay. I'm so sorry for the network. Okay. It may be that the people that we are leading may be changing, or it may be again before being the leader of a group of person. We notice that the environment starting to be polluted or to be negative. As a leader, what do we really need during that time? If we notice that the people that we are leading have started to be the negative for us, or it may be again we just come to the area that is really negative. So what do we need really during that time in order to change it into a positive one, in order to start the activity or to make the activity easily?
Yeah, that's why I suggest that you always start a relationship with people. Here is our working agreement. Here's our core values. This is what is important for us to keep this culture very healthy so we all can thrive. And when everybody agrees on that, whenever somebody steps outside of that, now you can anchor a conversation back on, here's what we agreed to do as a working agreement. Here's our core values. And then be open to hear, why is this not happening for you anymore? Being able to align to this. This is what we're experiencing and seeing. Tell us what's going on that is now causing you not to be able to comply or align with this and start and be a part of what we're doing, the positive part of what we're doing. It's, again, seeking that understanding. Now, if a person is not just, they've just gone to the left and they just decided that they're not there, then everyone has a value. So you have to figure out, this might not be the right place for you any longer. You might be seeking something else, and maybe that's why you're not happy here. So let's talk about what would make you happy, and where would you be happier if this is not the place. If this is not the place. I think great leaders help people stay with them and continue, but they also help people get to the next place that's better for them than being where you are. Now, that takes courage and strength on a leader to recognize that some people sometimes either outgrow your space, or because of where they're going, their individual visions, it might mean that they need to go on to someplace else. And then there's also times when we thought this was going to be a good partnership, we thought this was going to be a good engagement, but it's turning out that it's not. And you have that conversation that says, this is no longer working for these reasons. We shouldn't just give a blanket statement, but outline those reasons, be willing to have conversations around them, and then come up with a plan. It's not helpful for us to say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and then there's no plan to fix it or no plan to reconcile it. And that plan to reconcile it may be, that person needs to move on.
Wow. So if I understand well, the communication is one of the key words that a good leader has to focus on, because you have to communicate with people in order to know what they really feel. Okay, so thank you so much. And again, what do you have as advice for all the leader in order to conduct in a good way the group? So what do you have for them? Last word.
Yeah, I would encourage every leader to be committed to creating a culture where every person that you touch can thrive. And look for the good in people, look for the good in people, what value they bring individually, and how that contributes to the value of your organization, your mission, whatever you're doing. Look for the value, and not just look for the profit, just not look for the revenue. Because when you look for that value will produce the revenue, and the services that produce the revenue, they will give of themselves. They will serve your clients well when we look for the value. And I do have a course where we talk about value mapping, where it's not just a normal resume, but the individual really considers their totality of value. The organization knows their value, and then you map the two and making sure that it's a good fit. It's a good map. We're really aligned, and then you can achieve the impossible.
Wow. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. It was really amazing. What you really talked to us was really important and useful. So thank you. We hope to invite you again, once again, for the next episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate being able to share with your audience.
Yeah.